All right. So I'm gonna fly an Airbus A320 NEO, my favorite plane, and we're gonna fly low altitude from Birmingham. We're gonna fly out of runway 24, and we're gonna fly to Montgomery. So there's definitely more direct paths you could take, but I like flying on this way, so I have plenty of space to get into the landing pattern. Let's see. So we're gonna, these are our waypoints. Cruise altitude, it's gonna be 8,400 feet. Our airspeed will be 250. Alright, looks good to me. And these are our waypoints. I think we're ready to fly. It takes a while to load in, but I think that's because my graphics are all the way up. I don't think I've ever done this flight. Alright, before I take off, I want to make sure that we know there's some different things with my autopilot features with the altitude managed mode that I'm going to test on this flight, so it is highly probable that I will crash or miss my waypoints if this doesn't work. I've flown out of Birmingham before, and this is definitely what the runway looks like.
Two heavy contact Birmingham departure on 12.3.8. Good day.
12.3.8 HMYBM 9219er, two heavy. Birmingham departure.
And I'm curious if I want to just leave it at 5,000, which is where it goes automatically when I press autopilot, or if I want to do what air traffic controls and manage my
9219er,
altitude.
2 heavy Birmingham departure altimeter, 29er decimal 9er, to continue as planned.
It's managing my airspeed, and it's managing my altitude at 5,000 feet, so it's not a problem right now. So I learned that you want your throttle to be at CL. What's going on? So we're gonna adjust the throttle to right there. We're not really in sync, but it's close enough. Alright, so the airplane is doing what it's supposed to do.
Birmingham departure Delta 2421 is at 9,600 feet, climbing flight level 190. Delta 2421 Birmingham departure altimeter 29er decimal 9er 2, continue to RUTTH as planned.
Ooh, I did not mean to do that. Okay. Okay, so our airspeed is good. We're following the navigation pattern. It's just, it's not automatically.
Head of 9219er 2 heavy, please expedite your climb 6,000 feet.
Okay, so they want me at 6,000 feet, but the plane is in autopilot going to 5,000. So what I'm going to do is raise it to 7,000. Engage, select, manage. Okay. All right, we put it on 7,000, and let's see if we ascend. It looks like we are ascending. That makes me feel good. So
Head up 9219er 2 heavy climb and maintain 8,000 feet.
all you can see is my air
Climb and
traffic
maintain
control.
8,000 feet head of 9219er 2 heavy.
Let me see. What about now? What I had air traffic control minimized, and I think it opened another window, so I just closed it out. I think what I need to start doing, well, they want me at 8,000 feet. Okay.
Head up 9219er
See, I put
2 heavy
8,000.
contact Atlanta Center on 134.05.
And it's not climbing. So let me right click it
134.05
Okay.
HF
That's what you gotta do. You have to right click it and it engages
Atlanta Center HWYBM
managed
92.199
altitude
or
mode.
2 heavy is passing 7,000 feet, climbing 8,000 feet.
That's why I could never get it. I would set it and it would never climb or descend, but you have to right click once you have it preset for it to do what you tell it to do. So I think if we just follow air traffic control's altitude and just do that, we'll be fine, and ignore what's on the map here.
Atlanta Center HWYBM 92.199 or 2 heavy is at 7,800 feet, climbing 8,000 feet.
Another thing that I have to make sure is if you look over here on the engines where it's CL, that means climb mode, and you want to leave it in climb mode throughout the entire flight so that it manages your airspeed, but it'll also let you climb when you adjust your throttle or when you adjust your altitude, which is down here, the CL. You put it all the way up when you're taking off and then leave it at CL. Now when we go to land, we may need to turn it down. But I have accomplished what I hoped to accomplish, which was get this plane to ascend with autopilot like it's supposed to. Now when it's time to descend, let's hope that it does the same thing. At some point, once I master this, I'm going to learn how to do the air traffic control commands and talk directly to them myself. I think there's a mode where you can play the simulator where other people are air traffic control, like other users, and you communicate with them directly. That would be really fun. Because I don't really like the air traffic control doesn't match the flight plan as far as altitudes. But this isn't a long flight from Birmingham to Montgomery, so let's see if I can adjust. I believe this is the range. Yeah, so we're not that far away. Maybe let's put it on 20 nautical miles. I like ARC the best. The reason I leave my comms up is in case I don't hear their commands, I can see it.
Delta 1617, contact Atlanta Center on 134.05. Good day.
Yeah, that makes sense. How they tell you to contact them on 134.05, that's what I want to learn how to do next. But for now, I'll leave that on. You know, kind of like I have a co-pilot, and he or she can just do the comms and program the flight into the GPS, and then I can manage the altitude and look down to your right and switch the radio. Okay. see it right there. On a long flight, that would probably be easy, but if you're trying to get ready to land, that could be challenging until you get the hang of it. Let's see what's all back here in my plane. I wish they had a multiplayer mode where
2 heavy
two
contact.
people can
Approach on 124.0.
fly.
Good day.
Yeah, you
Going
could
to
probably
124.0 H of YBM 92199er 2 heavy. Approach H of YBM 92199er 2 heavy 8,000 feet.
Okay.
Heaven 92199er 2 heavy approach altimeter 29er 2 continue to Boeing as planned.
I wonder if air traffic control can see my flight plan like this. I'm sure they do.
Heaven 92199er 2 heavy descend and maintain 2,000
Alright, let's see if we can get this plane to descend now.
Descend and maintain 2,600 feet Heaven 92199er 2 heavy.
Yep, I right clicked it once I selected it, and here we go, we're descending. Now, there is a way to expedite my descent using vertical speed. It's not letting me use it right now. Let's see. I mean, we.
Heaven 92199er 2 heavy, you are 20 miles north. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS Zulu runway 28 approach via ICOT transition. Cleared to ICOT. Heaven 92199er 2 heavy, you are 19 miles north of Montgomery. Contact tower on 119
I mean,
decimal.
worst case scenario is if we're not at the altitude, we'll have to declare missed approach.
Tower on 119er decimal 7
I can get it to
YBM
go
92199er
down
2 heavy.
faster, but
Tower
we're-
H of YBM 92199er 2 heavy 18 miles north inbound ALS Zulu runway 28 approach.
Heaven 92199er 2 heavy tower. Altimeter 29er decimal 9er 2. Wind calm cleared ILS Zulu runway 28 approach.
Cleared ILS Zulu runway 28 approach H of YBM 92199er 2 heavy.
It's going down now. This is Wetumpka Airport. We're very close. We've got the plane to nearly 3,000, but I'm gonna go ahead and set it for 2,000. This is the scariest part of the flight to me.
$2,500.
I'm going to go ahead and adjust this back to 10 nautical miles. Okay. It should put us at 2,000 and level off. Looks like we're at 2,000. Yep, that's good. We're gonna adjust this from 10 nautical miles because it looks like we're flying off path, but we're not. Let's put it on 20. Well, screw it. We can kind of be able to see this as we get closer to the airport. Thanks. We are looking good so far. Like I said, this is my first flight doing this. Birmingham to Atlanta is pretty easy because it's direct even when you are flying IFR. But this one has a lot of flying out of the way. Flying out of the way and, you know, getting into the flight pattern to be able to land.
Endeavor 49er84 contact ground on 121.7.
So we're not Endeavor, that's another plane. We are Heavy BM 1992.
121.7 for Endeavor 49er84.
If we successfully land this plane in Montgomery here in just a minute, I think I'll feel confident enough to fly from Atlanta to Dallas Fort Worth. It'll be a long flight, but we will have proved that the knowledge that I'm using works. Because before I was setting the altitude, but the plane would not go to that altitude, and I realized you had to, once you put the altitude where you want it, you have to right click to get the plane to go to that altitude. And then what I'm going to do from here is I should be in line with the approach once I get lined up, and then I should just hit this approach button right here, and it should land itself once we're lined up. And that's really all I'm going to do from here, unless it tells me to lower my altitude before then. So I'm hoping it works and we land safely, because I would not want to get in a plane, and I don't even know how long it would take to fly from Atlanta to Dallas Fort Worth, but however long it would take in real life, I would not want to do that and then crash when it was time to land. That would be horrible. But I know I'm going to have to get some more coffee before my next flight. 2 hours, yes. I wouldn't have time to do that flight because it's almost 9 and I'm going to the gym at 10. So I need to stick to shorter flights so I can get in some practice. But later, when I have nothing to do, I could definitely do a 2-hour flight. I could try Talladega to Anniston, which I've done manually. It's easy to do manually, but I've not successfully been able to land an Airbus, so I might actually do that next. I actually think I will do that next, just to see if what I'm doing now will work at a small airport. And also a very small flight. We'll get plenty of practice runs if we crash. Yeah, I usually land in the trees before I get to the airport, but I know it can be done because we watched a plane do it from the gym, but it did look like they were just falling out of the air. And I also want to see if doing this works in other planes besides the Airbus. You definitely have to take off from Talladega. No way you can land there. And you can, but the big planes do it for race cars. Yeah. I need to edit my paint scheme. And I don't like how it says fly-by-wire. I wish I could come up with my own.
Endeavor 49er84, turn next taxiway.
Okay. I can see the runway. So time to see.
Endeavor 49er84, contact ground on 121.7. 121.7 for Endeavor 4984.
What usually happens here is my plane flies right over the frickin' runway. Oh, look at that.
Head up 92199er, 2 heavy, wind calm, clear to land runway 28.
Alright, we are
runway
cleared to
28,
land.
HMYBM 92199er, 2 heavy.
Overspeed.
Alright, we're at a perfect speed now. It's all blue here. I've never landed in Montgomery, but I have picked up my old boss from Montgomery. So I know that major airlines do fly into Montgomery sometimes. Okay. Too slow.
500.
Alright guys, here we go. I'm nervous.
400.
I don't remember what key stops this plane.
300. 200. 100. 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
It's not the best landing, but it was a safe landing. I didn't have my flaps all the way down, probably is why I bounced. I thought I had it all the way down, but I was too stressed.
Head up 92199er, 2 heavy turn, next taxiway.
Well, you didn't give me enough notice to turn on that taxiway, lady. No, sorry about that. You gave me no notice to turn there. So we're gonna turn at the next taxiway.
Head up 92199er, 2 heavy turn, next taxiway.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, lady. I think what I'm gonna do is go to Talladega and fly to Anniston, but I'm gonna use a smaller plane and see if the managed altitude and autopilot stuff and approach mode and all will work like it does in this Airbus. I like flying the Airbus though, but I want to be able to do it in a small plane too.
Head up 92199er, 2 heavy exit runway, when able.
I'm trying. Why do you want me to go up there now, lady?
Head up 92199er, 2 heavy contact ground on 121.7.
121.7 HMYBM 92199er, too heavy.
Hey, but we safely landed. We bounced once because my flaps weren't all the way down. And to be honest, I should have pointed the nose to the ground, but I was too scared. I'd rather have a little bounce. That is a lot of cars. And this is a busy airport with commercial planes that fly in, but it's not that big. It's one runway, I think. Eventually I'm gonna do like round trips, but I haven't learned how to program the flight thing unless I'm on the screen. So I guess it's the same thing. You just go to the menu, do the reverse flight. It would be the same thing. We landed safely. It in approach mode. I was already lined up. Didn't have to do anything. But no, I did not want to go in reverse. But I did bounce once on the runway because I was too scared to put the nose down because I didn't want to risk crashing. But we landed safely, and I forgot to put my flaps on all the way. They were on like 15, I think, and they needed to be on 35. But it wasn't a terrible bounce. It was just the wheels touched and then went back up and then touched again. So I love how that truck's right there in my parking lane. No input, no. All right. I don't remember how to cut this engine off, but that is it. We successfully did it. So let's go and set up our next flight. Now, overhead. It'll be okay. Now I'm going to try something in a new plane. I know I can fly the Airbus, but I want to do maybe this Beechcraft. Alright, so let's see if we can go from Talladega to not Sylacauga. I've never flown to Sylacauga. I don't know why I was recommending that. Alright, very short direct flight. But see, if I do this, I have no way to line up the runway. So let's go to low altitude. That didn't fix it. So this is runway number 23. All right. See, this is what's frustrating. This short flight from Talladega to Anniston, you have to go way up there to get lined up. Well, that one, maybe it's not quite as bad. Let's see. Oh, that's just weird. That one. No, I don't want to go. ILS. I guess we're gonna do the ILS 05Y. That'll fly us this way. No. What are you doing? Yeah, ILS 5. I already clicked it. I mean, it's a short. This is how far it is, but the only way I can get it to work okay. Alright, well, I mean, it's still not a long flight. And our cruising altitude is only going to be 3,500 feet. Well, it says our altitude here is 3,500 feet, but our cruise altitude is set for 1,400 feet. But I don't really understand that. I mean, I could change the cruising altitude. Bro. No. Press backspace to close. Okay. Let's see what this does. Let me check it again. Flying out of runway 22. Yeah, okay. Let's give it a go. And a completely different plane with different, probably a different autopilot system. And I don't think I have any training with this.
Kilo Alpha
Yeah,
Sierra
you're
November
probably
traffic
right.
HEA VYBM 92199er 2 heavy taking off runway 22 departure to the east.
I do like how this GPS looks. Wow, that's not a good takeoff.
Birmingham departure HEA VYBM 92199er 2 heavy is passing 1,100 feet, climbing 4,000 feet.
Heavy 92199er, 2 heavy Birmingham departure altimeter, 29.9er, continue as planned.
Okay, so first observation is pressing autopilot
2 heavy, you are 11 miles west.
did not do
Maintain
anything.
present heading and altitude. Expect ILS Yankee runway 5 approach via LANTZ transition. Cleared to LANTZ. Heavy 92199er, 2 heavy, you are 12 miles west of Kilo Alpha November Bravo.
Yeah, autopilot is bringing it down.
Heavy 92199er,
This is rough.
2 heavy. Kilo Alpha November Bravo, traffic HEAV YBM 92199er, 2 heavy 12 miles west inbound ILS Yankee runway 5. Kilo Alpha November Bravo, traffic HEAV YBM 92199er, 9er 2 heavy is on final runway 5 to land.
Oh, no wonder. Okay, we're gonna restart this flight, so let it crash. Oh, I don't like this plane. But I gotta learn how to fly it. I think that was the problem. My altitude was not preset. The Airbus defaults to 5,000 feet. You just press Y and it goes to 5,000 feet. But before we take off, let's have a look at it. Why is the fire warning light on? Okay. Altitude. So we're going to put it on just 3,000 feet right now, okay? We're going to turn on our yaw damper because when I took off a minute ago it was terrible. Okay, we're going to turn on navigation mode, okay? And then once again, alright, so I'm not even going to press altitude hold mode because I think that's going to hold my current altitude, okay? We're going to turn on our flight director. I don't know if we should turn on vertical nav or not. But let's just see what happens now. The plane is already behaving better with the yaw damper. It's taking itself off. Alright, autopilot is on. And look what it is doing. It is sinking. Alright, so you do have to hit altitude hold mode. Okay. What do you mean VNAV for landing? Okay, plane. Okay, it says it's only set for 900. Okay. Come on, dude, go up. This is so ridiculous. All right, we got it set on 3,500. And we are not. Turn on VNAV when you go to land and hit approach mode if you have it. I do have approach mode, but right now the plane is not It's set for 3,500, but it's stuck at 890. Altitude, let me turn off altitude hold mode and see what happens. Okay, let me turn it back on. Okay, I mean, use vertical speed, okay. Okay, I mean, we can make it go up, but what's the point of the altitude button? It's turn on altitude hold, turn on VS bump versus up till a steady climb. It won't let me. You see this? All I can do is make the plane go down. Hit vertical speed. It goes down. But I can't make it go up. Maybe I need more throttle. I mean, I could manually pull it up to the altitude and then just hit altitude hold, but I don't know what vertical navigation, if it'll help me now. Alright, that stupid altitude is back at 900, now it's on 2,700, but it's not climbing. I don't know why it likes 900. I don't know what to do because I can't adjust my vertical speed. Okay, so altitude hold. Turn off altitude hold, then try vertical speed. Okay. I think it's climbing. But let's turn off altitude hold. Vertical speed is on. There we go.
Birmingham departure HEA VYBM 9219er 2 Heavy is passing 1,100 feet, climbing 4,000 feet.
Headed 9219er 2 Heavy Birmingham departure altimeter 29.9er 2 continue as planned.
So we got it to 1,500 feet.
2 Heavy, you are 2 miles southwest. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS Yankee runway 5 approach via LANDC transition.
Let's put on 2,000 feet. Vertical speed.
Headed 9219er 2 Heavy, you are 2 miles southwest of Kilo Alpha November Bravo.
Headed 9219er 2 Heavy. Kilo Alpha November Bravo traffic HEA VYBM 9219er 2 Heavy 22 miles southwest inbound ILS Yankee runway 5. Kilo Alpha November Bravo traffic HEA VYBM 9219er 2 Heavy is on final runway 5 to land.
See, this is why we need to play it as co-pilot.
November 1422 Charlie 14 miles southwest inbound ILS Yankee runway 5.
But it got to 2,000 and it's maintaining it. The vertical speed is off. Altitude hold mode switched back on automatically. So you do have to use vertical speed Now, at what point do I need to use VNAV? Or VNAV is already on. Now, I also turned on no flight level control is not on. There is an approach mode, but I'm not ready to use that yet. We about crashed, but we got it figured out before we did. Now, obviously, you know, if this was real, I could just take control of the flight and fly it. But I'm trying to use it correctly with autopilot, because that's how I believe pilots actually fly. There's not a lot of manual. I mean, you could manually fly just for the experience and fun, but most flights are probably using autopilot features. It's so funny that Twitter will pop up over my game.
Kilo Alpha November Bravo traffic Cessna November 1422 Charlie 12 miles southwest inbound ILS Yankee runway 5.
But Discord won't. The one thing that I would like to pop up. Well, it's pretty smooth looking now. I don't like that there's no auto throttle. Is that what FLC does? Oh, it didn't do anything. So. Okay, we're lined up with the runway here. What is it doing? Alright, I'm gonna change it to 1500. Use vertical speed to descend.
Kilo Alpha November Bravo traffic Cessna November 1422 Charlie 10 miles southwest inbound ILS Yankee runway 5.
I don't think they've told us we're cleared to land. What is it red for? Are we too fast? Are we too slow? Are we too low to the ground? What? Too fast. Oh, this is so scary right now. We're getting ready to land. said that proud, didn't he? 500. What are you doing? Why are you going off? Why is it veering off pattern? I'm not touching it because it veered so far off pattern that it's not even funny. But let's see if it will line itself back up. I don't know why we're gonna fly in here crooked as heck.
Kilo Alpha November Bravo traffic Cessna November 1422 Charlie 8 miles southwest inbound ILS Yankee runway 5.
I would rather land this my dang self. Oh, no wonder. We made it! Okay. Let's see. Oh, let me just come to a complete stop. Let's go back here and do this again.
Kilo Alpha November Bravo traffic HEAV YBM 9219er 2 heavy 5 miles southwest inbound ILS Yankee runway 5.
Okay, approach mode is on.
Kilo Alpha November Bravo traffic Cessna November 1422 Charlie 6 miles southwest inbound ILS Yankee runway 5.
It keeps trying to land to the right of this runway, but I'm forcing it. I'm fighting it. Maybe there's some wind or something. I don't know. Whoa, okay. Look at that landing.
Bravo traffic HEAV YBM 9219er 2 heavy 1 miles southwest inbound ILS Yankee runway 5.
That was a very good landing. So in this plane, you can't just let it land itself in approach mode. You do have to guide it a little bit, or it'll get off maybe from the wind or something. But that was a better landing than we did in the Airbus.
November Bravo traffic Cessna November 1422 Charlie 4 miles southwest inbound ILS Yankee runway 5.
Hey Siri, call Wood Forest Aniston.
Calling Wood Forest Aniston mobile.
Thank you for calling Aniston Wood Forest. This is Canada. How may I help you?
Canada, it's Blake. Were
Yes, sir.
were you saying like, hey, this is your cash auditor, me checking in, or are you saying the assessors are there?
Yes, the second one.
That's not cash auditors, that's the assessors then, right?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna call you right back, okay?
Alright.
I'm gonna call you right back.
Alright.
Kilo Alpha November Bravo traffic Cessna November 1422 Charlie 3 miles southwest inbound ILS Yankee